Hey, how you doing, Helen?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing okay, not too bad. So I'm gonna ask point blank. How was the conversation with Flo?
Not great, sir.
Okay, be honest with me. What was get? I wasn't present, obviously, but
yeah. I mean, he told me people had a problem with how I ran a scene, and he told them, you know, do you want her to be punished? And if you don't fuck with her, then don't respond to her 77 requests. And then I said, the state of patrol is so bad that I run one scene and 3 people go to complain to command. That is fucking insane. Also, I was right, so suck my dick. And that's insane to me. And then he said, well, and I was like, that doesn't make me want to patrol. If my department isn't going to respond to my 77 request, Sergeant. No.
Yeah.
No, I'm still talking.
Okay.
And then he said, well, Helen, I don't expect you to patrol. You can just come around and do Helen things. And I was like, oh, so be a fucking workhorse for 2 different certs and get bitched about.
Wait, so are you done?
Yup. Yeah, go ahead.
What do you mean he said don't? He told you he said this?
Yeah, he told me that he told Daisy Dukakis if she doesn't like how I run scenes, then she just doesn't have to respond to my 77 requests. So if someone doesn't like me, they can just leave me out to dry.
Where did that come from? I'm confused.
Because Daisy didn't like that I de-escalated the scene yesterday. And she went to Sloan to complain about it. Mind you, I've never had a private conversation with Daisy Dukakis about anything in my life.
Yeah.
She went to Sloan to complain about it. Alan Key from LSPD also went to complain about it because they were baiting a shootout, and I stopped it because that's not how I run scenes, and I was the scene lead. And if they were running the scene and baiting a shootout, I would support them. But that's not how I run scenes, and it didn't turn into more of a shootout because of that. And they complained to command about me, and my command told them, if you don't like her, just don't respond to her 77 requests.
He said
do you want her to be punished? Do you want me to punish her?
So, okay. Who did he say this to?
He said this to Daisy Dukakis.
Yeah, but Daisy's in our department.
And Alan Key, I'm guessing. Yeah, Daisy is in our department, yeah.
Okay, so
yes.
He said this to... I'm so confused, but he spoke to Ruby and Maxwell.
He also spoke to Ruby. Oh, and Maxwell. Good to know. He didn't throw that name out there. He also spoke to Ruby.
But tell me, like, I know the details matter, right? So who did he tell you he spoke to about it?
He told me Daisy and Alan Key came to him, and he went to Ruby. Because I went to Ruby after she 311'd, and I said, hey, I really didn't like, what you said over 311. It felt passive-aggressive. It didn't feel good to read.
Who said what on the 311?
I called Ruby. Ruby said, breaking off as ordered, and then, sorry, thought it was a 78's call. It was just being Ruby, passive-aggressive, plausible deniability. I know her well enough to know exactly what she was doing. I called her and I said, hey, that felt passive aggressive. It didn't feel good to read. I've, always supported you. And I'd appreciate if you do the same for me. She basically said, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. And then just turned it back around on me and doubled down. So I just disengaged and was like, okay, well, all right, cool. And ended the conversation. And, Slow wanted to talk to her. I was like, I really don't care if you do or not. Because I don't think Ruby is ever going to change. I think Ruby has always done exactly what she did yesterday, which is be a giant fucking bitch and then turn it on anybody who has feelings about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know how the conversation with Ruby went. He mostly told me about the conversation with Daisy.
So here's how we handle it here. Slow did not handle it the way it should be. in this shift, in this department, if there is an issue, the only way by which the concern will be dealt with is with complaining parties, and the person being complained about is in a room, so that someone who is command, and when I underline that, I mean someone who's capable of it, hears it out and then comes to a conclusion to it, whatever that conclusion may be. Not telephone games, which is what this sounds like it turned into, because that just muddies the waters and it opens the doors for whatever cringe shit this turned into. So I appreciate you telling me. I don't think it's that big of a deal at the end of the day. If you're
I cannot believe I am in another conversation about this. I was the fucking scene lead and I led the scene how I wanted to lead.
Here's how it's going to work. And if someone tells you otherwise, you're to tell me. And the reason why you're able to break chain command is because we don't have a chain at the moment, right? There's a chain is me and whatever the fuck is in between, right? The first is, if it is your scene, you are making that call. No ifs, ands, or buts. If a superior command member believes something needs to be different, right? Because, okay, well, let me roll back. Because the scene lead is the one that understands the temperature of the situation and has all the context. Yeah. If a command member, anyone above, decides it is not going in the means by which they're expecting, or they think it's, you know, for whatever reason, right? Escalated violence, whatever it might be, they have the ability, as per SOPs and otherwise, to take the scene. And then they can do it as they please. If there are issues, you are to then go and have a conversation directly afterwards. I don't want any childish, like, next day complaining. That's brain dead. So as far as I'm concerned, you did nothing wrong. And if you did do something wrong, it should have been handled then, not the next day. So, continue doing what you're doing. If you see this dumb shit again, let me know. I'll handle so separately. That's going to be... I'm not going to bring up your particular case. It's just going into a filing cabinet for the moment. So,
sounds good, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
I know he still needs to be trained. I also need him to understand how we handle things here. But that's why I was very, just to the point, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, I don't want to hear issues the next day. If there's issues, it's handled then and there. And complaining and otherwise parties need to, and I didn't, that's on me too, because I have not communicated this clear enough too slow, is that this is how it's going to work here. I don't care what other departments want. I don't care what other shifts want. It's going to be like this. Is it possible that she made the wrong call yesterday? Sure. However, in my opinion, the means by which this was handled is wrong, because it was handled by a telephone, right? Because other complaining parties may have context as well, right? And without combining both sides of the POVs, you do not have full context to make a judgment call. It's that simple. So yesterday in the moment, if I was there, maybe Daisy was right. Maybe Helen was right. You can't know that the next day. What definitely is significantly worse is how we let it be known, because by separating it, what it does is it creates unnecessary animosity and risk for something that's not that significant in the grand scheme of things, right? These sort of this form of conflict resolution does more damage than it does good. So. Well, Slow's new at it, right? So. Ready, chick?